It's June 16 today. How do we as black people approach this day? Listen, if I find you typing Happy Youth Day on your social media, it actually means that you are spitting on the unofficial number of 23 learners that were shot dead on this day. You will be spitting and walking over the blood of Zwelile Hector Peterson, who died in vain. 48 years later, Afrikaans is still being forced down the throat of our children. What are we celebrating today? Let me not forget that it's the government of national unity. What is the DA going to say today? Are they going to release a statement? What will they be celebrating with us, the stupid blacks, who have forgiven those who did not ask forgiveness from us, those who have hunted, and killed us for decades, and we forgave them? Today, we gave power back to our colonizers. It's June 16, ladies and gentlemen. What do you say? How do you feel? The people who voted for the ANC did not think that the ANC will work for the DA. The people who voted for the DA actually have got nothing to lose because the DA has gained significant power to be able to challenge the ANC and kill them like a slow poison from within. Let's talk about that and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, the King 053, Mr. Easy Imali. And we're back at it again with another one. La. Can somebody remind the ANC that this fake artificial democracy that we have and are holding on, we earned it by blood. Our grandparents died for this fake artificial democracy. Our great parents were enslaved in their own land for this fake democracy. This artificial democracy that we have, that all of a sudden, miraculously, after 1994, after we voted, apartheid stopped. This fake notion of saying the hearts of the white people have suddenly changed because of the votes in 1994. They have then, from out of the blue, started changing, loving black people and forgiving black people and all of that. All of that fake love that we are pretending after the Springbok Sia Kolisi has won the World Cup. All of that fake nonsense that we have in entertainment conferences. All this fake love that we have at work. When you and me go back to a landless community and they go back to agriculture, they go back with the benefit of white monopoly capitalists. They go back with the benefit of farms, food security. They go back because they've got the power to manipulate our currency. They go back to a soft life while we are still living in apartheid. Actually, 48 years ago, in June 16, children had an uprising. Because I told you, there is no revolution without the youth. The youth stood up and said, enough is enough. We are tired of learning in Afrikaans. We want to learn in our own languages. We are the majority in this country. We want to learn in our own language. And what happened? The police took out live ammunition and unlived 23 of them. The number says 1,000 something of them were brutally injured. We know it's more. We know it's more. Today, that same liberation party that was fighting against this apartheid regime has given back power to the National Party. Helen Zille predicted that the ANC will die in her lifetime. Guys, namhlanje.
Let me make a prediction. Because the ANC doesn't know what it stands for anymore, because it can't revert to principles, because it hasn't got any, believe me, in my lifetime, I will see that party die too. But believe me, no one would ever have said in their wildest dreams that within my lifetime, the National Party would be gone.
Now, we need to wake up as black people and realize how far this plan comes of killing the ANC, corrupting the ANC, by buying out officials, by giving officials shares in mines, by giving our comrades monies so that they can change and leave the politics of the mind and the liberation of the people and get into stomach politics, thinking with an empty stomach. The National Party had a mission since 1994 to kill the ANC. They said, okay, it's fine. Win the race, ANC. Win. Get 65% of Mandela. You get 65%. You do a government of national unity rubbish. Mandela sold us out. I'm not going to keep on spitting and trembling on his graveyard. We all know what happened. We got the fake artificial democracy. But we did not know what to do with it. Our comrades did not know what to do with it. They could not plan far. They were all thinking Mercedes-Benz, double story, plenty of houses in the suburb somewhere, in the beach view. That's what they were thinking about. Secure money for my family. The issue here, let me tell you what is the issue here. The issue is that I'm a comrade. They don't fear the voters. They think we, the voters, are harmless. We will do nothing, man. We are like a person stuck in a physical abusive relationship. Every time your partner beats you and you do nothing about it, they know that you are harmless. You don't call the police. You don't change your vote. You don't change the party. 6 million people voted for the ANC. 6 million people. Yes, it was a drop of 4 million people from 2019. But was it a significant drop? No. And remember, we in this channel don't believe that number of 6 million. Anyway, I'm just quoting it out because it's the number that's there. This 40%. We don't believe that number because we believe the elections were rigged. Let that be our beginning point. There is absolutely nothing that the ANC agrees with the DA. Absolutely nothing. There's no policy where you can say, okay, but here they agree. There's nothing you can say that. Listen, when we, the woke people, started voting for the EFF, the ATM, the UDM, the Mkhonto weSizwe and whatever, we never also anticipated that our ANC, because this is our ANC, by the way, sikhulele kiyo ANC sonke sikhulele ngaphakathi kwe-ANC except for lama sell out lawa be-IFP. Sikhulele ANC, it's our party, the ANC. We thought that when they lose, they will come back to their senses and say, no man, let's go back home. Let's call our people. Let's fix our problem. We are fooling ourselves. We are fooling ourselves because Helen Zille did say, if the ANC dares to ever go in a coalition with, listen to this, with the EFF, the rand will drop. This is a politician saying that. Not a person in the markets, masimbabo bonke labo, in the markets ya masimba. Not in a person in a market, a politician who's got connection and who understands how these things work. So if the EFF dares to go into a coalition with the ANC, the markets will crumble and the rand will fall. She said that. And she could not say why she's saying that. Because it's a top secret that white people know. That they will punish us for regrouping together and reuniting as black parties. And the ANC knows that.
You can't defend the ANC today and not look stupid. You can't. And
If EFF comes into power,
Yeah.
South Africa's rand will crash through the floor.
What will cause that?
What will cause that is that the economy will completely lose confidence in the future. When investors say there's no future in South Africa, they pull out all their money. The rand crashes. No one wants the rand anymore. No demand on the rand anymore.
But how could you say that with such confidence, and yet you don't know? You don't know the type of president Julius and Floyd would be.
I can tell you. Perhaps what we need is Julius and Floyd and whatever to become part of government in a province. One province. To see what happens to that poor province. Just one.
I'm still curious to know why you would say a statement like that with such confidence.
Well, I do, because I know what kind of systems in a democracy lead to prosperity. We don't have to reinvent the wheel in South Africa. We don't have to start experiments. We know from history. We know from all over the world what works for the poor and what doesn't in a democracy.
Unfortunately, now we will never find out if indeed, if the ANC went into a coalition government with the EFF, the rand would have crashed. Unfortunately, how I wish we would have found out. Because I'm telling you, the rand was going to crash immediately after the announcement that the EFF is in coalition with the ANC. It was going to drop that night. We were going to wake up in the morning with a weaker rand. It's a fact. We know that. They did that with, what's his name? Jacob Zuma when he fired Pravin as the Minister of Finance. They did that with him. Now, my question is, if the markets got what they wanted, which is the ANC to go in bed, or the DA to rape the ANC in bed without a condom, if the markets got that, why is it that they are not responding? They have not yet responded favorably. Why is it that the rand is not stronger today? They still have their president. Cyril Ramaphosa is their president. He's the face. He's not the president. They control him. We know. You know, we know, the ANC knows. They can try to pretend Abufikile Mbalula. They can tell Abu Tokyo Sokhwale. Where are they now? Thabo Mbeki, the big sellout. Where are they now? That the ANC is working with its enemy, its sworn enemy. They are working with them. It's June 16. What message is the national government of national unity going to say today? What are they going to say? You are sitting here with a person who raped you and you are busy celebrating 16 years. What are we celebrating? Here's the person who shot you for saying we want to learn in our language. This person who shot you, the ancestors of this person who shot you, that system that was there in 1976 is still there today. My child is learning in Afrikaans, for God's sake. 48 years later, I learned in Afrikaans. I did Afrikaans from, oh goodness, from grade 1 to matric. Imagine. At work, I don't speak Afrikaans. I'm in the Northern Cape. It's a predominantly Afrikaans province, Northern Cape. I only speak Afrikaans with colored people. White people, I don't speak Afrikaans with them. Afrikaners, when they speak, I just act like I don't hear them. Even though my Afrikaans is badly straight. Helen Zille told us that Cyril Ramaphosa is useless. The ANC is finished. The ANC is corrupt. The DA will never work with the ANC because the ANC is completely, it will destroy the DA. Kancane, that is the truth. But before the elections, this is what she was saying.
Has Ramaphosa done a decent job
No.
of running this country?
He should have been a bold reformer who did what was necessary. Instead, he was absolutely timid, he's conflict averse, and he put the ANC above the country.
You speak of him in the past.
Yes, he is in the past. Yeah, he is in the past, I'm afraid.
Why so clear that he's in the past? He's likely to win. There are only three possibilities of presidents in our country. It's either going to come from the DA, the EFF, or the ANC. Or, since we have that little problem of threshold, it might come from another small party.
Yeah.
So you speak of him. He's likely to still be president. So what do you say to a Cyril Ramaphosa presidency again in South Africa? And what is it likely to achieve, in your opinion, from what it has done so far?
I don't think it's going to achieve anything. That's the point. I mean, we all came with such high hopes in 2019.
So you also had hopes?
We all had hopes. I thought the best way of supporting Cyril Ramaphosa's potential was to back the DA, because then he would realize that he wouldn't be beholden to the EFF, that he would have a much stronger partner in the DA eventually. But I've given up that idea. I've given up that idea entirely because he's completely failed as a reformer.
You're saying you've given up on it. So the idea of partnering with the ANC has always been there within the DA?
No, it has not. It has definitely not. Okay. That has not been there. But I thought once, and that's me, that if Cyril came out as a bold reformer who did what he knows has to be done to get economic growth going, to stop corruption, to do all of those things, to get rid of cadre deployment, all of those things. If he was bold and did that, I thought there was potential. I don't think so anymore. Not at all.
So you will never be in a coalition with the ANC?
Well, I don't see them as coalition partners. They'll destroy the DA.
If the conversation ever comes up? Because it's really just a phone call.
Well, no, it's not a phone call. That's the problem. It's not a phone call. And it's not bargaining around positions. Coalitions are very complex things that require very complex agreements.
So you're saying, as a DA, you wouldn't pick up that call?
It's not my call. I'm not the leader of the party.
Well,
my job is to keep the rest of the party running so that the leaders can make the call.
Would you pick up the call?
Well, my personal take is that it might once have been a prospect when Cyril Ramaphosa posed as a great reformer.
Okay. It's 5 years ago.
Yeah. But the interim and the last 5 years have shown me absolutely not. The ANC is endemically corrupt. They're only involved and focused on staying in power to keep their fingers on the purse strings. And they don't have any inherent capacity for reform.
Like I ask people, what do you think changed in white people's hearts after you guys voted in 1994? I asked my mother this and I asked my grandmother this. And they both answer me the same. They say nothing. It's just that now we were freer to move around freely. We were free to go to places that we ordinarily could not go. But in terms of the hearts of the white people, nothing changed. Nothing changed. So if before the elections, this is what they were saying about Cyril Ramaphosa and the ANC, what's changed overnight? What changed over? Why do you think now this snake that has devoured so many people will then now not devour you when it gets angry? You go into bed with the snake. A python. Why I see even ANC people on the comments. I saw them. Well, it was not on my video. It was on another channel, and I saw them saying, "Yeah, you did not give us enough votes, so we are now going with the DA. Leave us alone with our ANC. This is what we want to do." Ndawo kanjani? Kanjani? Awusana ma principal. You don't have the morals anymore. Abantu abafele ilizwe lethu ubakhohliwe kanjalo. What was the ANC going to lose to work with the EFF? Because EFF basically me no, we allow you to even choose the president. You can choose Cyril Ramaphosa, it's fine. Even if you don't give us the finance portfolio that we are looking for, even if you don't give us, but it's fine. We'll get into bed with you as long as you don't work with the whites. That was the EFF. But the EFF EFF has filed in the first sitting of parliament. EFF reminds the ANC it's not going to be onky-dory. EFF reopens the file of Pala and gives it to the new speaker. I say, listen, speaker, welcome to parliament, well done. You heard Julius Malema say, listen, speaker, we know we will work nice with you. And what's his name? Floyd Shivambo said, listen, here's the document. We emailed you. We emailed your office. We emailed your office this document of Pala. But in case you did not get the email, there is a hard copy there. We brought the hard copy also to give it to you. And remember, who's the deputy speaker? Hey, guys, the EFF is playing smart games.
To a letter using Rule 119 of the National Assembly rules to request that you should invoke Section 8(9), subsection 1 of South Africa's Constitution to invoke the impeachment process in relation to the report which was tabled here in the National Assembly in relation of Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa's involvement in the Pala case. So we have sent that letter that as an immediate issue of focus and error of focus, and a motion that should be invoked as per Rule 119 of the National Assembly rules, that the immediate urgent motion that we must attend to should be the impeachment process of Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa for the case which was established to have prima facie basis by a panel which was led by a former Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court. We have also delivered the hard copy letters to you now, and the Deputy Speaker of the Democratic Alliance, so that you can pay attention to it as a matter of urgency. Thank you very much.
The coalition fake love of the ANC and the DA is not going to last. Already, first day, the EFF makes it clear, makes the tone clear. Remember, the EFF will have the support of the 58 members of MK and other 1 or 2 parties. Plus, they will have the support of who? Of the DA. The DA cannot turn around and vote with the ANC to protect Cyril Ramaphosa. They can't do that. They can't. Why? Because they will be chasing for the deputies everywhere. I'm not sure if they will get the deputy president. If they do, Nkosi yami, God forgive us, Nkosi yami, if they do find the deputy president, I don't think they will. I don't think the ANC will scoop that low. But the ANC has shown us anything. We will not be surprised. We will not be surprised. But for God's sake, I hope they don't go that low. But if they do, the DA will be wanting that exactly. If they get deputy speaker, they will be going for Toko Didiza, digging and trying to find out where did she mess up as the Minister of Agriculture? Where did she mess up in the former portfolio? What did she do? Get one thing, put it as a motion of impeachment, like the impeachment for Cyril Ramaphosa. The EFF and all the other parties will vote with the DA and remove Toko Didiza, and then the old woman will then step in there. The old white witch from the DA will then step up. And she has made it clear. She has released a message to the DA people to remind them to say, listen, we as the DA will never support anything that has to say about land restoration. We will never support those things. Please be at ease. We will never support anything that has to do with taking your land and all that. Bayadlala will never do that. Okay, she's saying it in Afrikaans, but die meeste van ons kan Afrikaans verstaan. Op ongeluk, ons kan dit verstaan, ons hoor baie mooi wat sy sê. Maar ek gaan nou die video nou speel vir julle. Kyk hom gou, luister baie mooi wat sy sê, en die mense wat Afrikaans ken, skryf gou daar in die comment section wat sy sê vir die ander mense wat nie Afrikaans baie mooi verstaan nie. Wow.
Die DA gaan vandag by die 94.000 voorleggings teen die wysiging van artikel 25 en die wysigingswetsontwerp by die parlement indien. Hierdie is kommentaar wat ontvang is van die publiek en elkeen gaan as 'n individuele voorlegging by die parlement ingedien word. Daarbenewens gaan die DA ook sy eie voorlegging indien en ons het van die begin af gesê, ons is gekant teen die wysiging van artikel 25. Ons is nie ten gunste van onteiening sonder vergoeding nie en ons gaan alles in ons vermoë doen om die integriteit van die grondwet te beskerm, om eiendomsreg te beskerm en seker te maak dat elke persoon sy eiendomsreg soos vervat in hoofstuk 2, die handves van menseregte in die grondwet, beskerm word. Ons gaan nie toelaat dat die ekonomie verswak nie en ons sal ook alles doen om te verseker dat daar ekonomiese groei is en dat daar grondhervorming is wat volhoubaar is en nie soos die ANC-regering die afgelope 25 jaar daarin misluk het om behoorlike grondhervorming te doen nie. Dit is ook belangrik dat u weet dat u nog tot môre tyd het om u kommentaar by die parlement in te dien oor artikel 25 en die wysiging daarvan.
This is the language that our children have been forced. My son is struggling so much with Afrikaans. My wife, coming from Kuruman, does not know any Afrikaans. Can't read Afrikaans, can't talk Afrikaans. For me, because I've been in what you call private schools my whole life, I can at least read Afrikaans. And because, like I said, in Kimberley, Afrikaans is actually the first language. So you speak Afrikaans, you find yourself speaking Afrikaans all the time. I just refuse to speak Afrikaans with white people. I refuse to give them that pleasure. But unfortunately, the system is already working in me. I can't speak Afrikaans. Listen, my people. We can forget about the land agenda as Africans. Let's just forget about the land. Oh, it's late. We can forget about the land agenda. We are not going to get any land. Not in the next 5 years. So we are going to reach 35 years of artificial democracy without land. We'll never make any progress there. The DA will personally make sure of that. The IFP will personally make sure of that. And as long as they have the 40% of the ANC, anything that goes to bring the land back, they will vote against it there in Parliament. They will just tell the ANC that, listen, ANC, we will protect Cyril Ramaphosa, but don't talk about land, don't talk about minimum wage, don't talk about anything that has to do with the minerals, don't talk about anything that has to hurt the financial sector. Then we will protect Cyril Ramaphosa under that condition. What is the ANC going to do for the continuation of the Cyril Ramaphosa to finish the term? They will agree. They will say, but we have not given these people land since 1994. Why should we give them land now? That is what is going to happen. So we need to prioritize what is important. This is my final message for June 16. Because we have disappointed our ancestors who fell down in 1976. We have disappointed them. We did nothing. We are a useless generation with no agenda, political agenda, with no aspirations to do something in our lifetime like they did in their lifetime. We are a weak generation, a cell phone, social media generation that just opens TikTok accounts, YouTube accounts, talk the whole day, we do nothing. We need to prioritize what is important. The MK party, Ubabu Jacob Zuma, at the age of 82 years, cannot fight alone. It is unfair for us. Sisasena mandla so we still have power. Tina, it is unfair for us to expect Jacob Zuma, who has already fought his fight, to fight our fight in this generation. Angazi niyangizwa na, angazi nangithola right or nizongithola later. Angazi ukuthi nangithola na. Let me repeat it. It is unfair for us, the weak generation. Tina, mo TikTok, mo Mr. YouTuber. Tina, I'm a Twitter. The generation is strong with Twitter. It is unfair for us to expect Jacob Zuma at the age of 82 years old, for Christ's sake, to fight our battle. This is our battle. This man has been to Robben Island. He was arrested. He did his part. It's time for us to stand up and rise up and fight our fight. Tina. How? Kansinjani Tina? Asina mahloni yini? We've been led by an 82-year-old man who's still fighting the system. Well, Tina, the youth, we have absolutely no militant strategies. We have to fight a spiritual fight. We have to start Guava Panzi. You call yourself spiritual. You call yourself religious. Go and pray and prepare for war. Because the battlegrounds has been drawn. After you pray, we have to fight the legal fights. That is what Jacob Zuma is already doing. Because I believe he has already done the spiritual fights. We have to fight spiritually this generation. We have to fight legally this generation. You are advocates, some of you. You are so well learned, some of you, in different industries, in different sectors. Useless. What are you doing for the benefit of our generation with all those books that you have learned? We have to fight economically. Socially and economically, we have to fight. Excuse me, as I'm looking at my notes, because some of these things you have to draft them down. You have to, let me start over. We are fighting spiritually because Meles Kulmen Abapans, our ancestors, bona lava is happy June 16, what is yahlanya? Bas pegile, they are rolling in their graves. Good you. You guys gave back power to the people who killed us, who murdered us. As learners, we were unarmed. We had no live ammunition. We had just sticks and stones in our hands. They shot us dead. Some of us, they shot us on our backs when we were running away. Today you are saying, happy June 16. Happy to who? Wearing uniform. What an embarrassment. You guys are wearing uniform. Ni kogela ni uniform. We kogela ni uniform. Because your children are still learning in Afrikaans. Ni kogela ni uniform. And ni kogela njalo ni ematavenini ni ophuza. Ni estrate na street bash nge winter kanje. It's so cold. Ni aphuza ni celebrate with alcohol in your hands. That is spitting on the graves of the people, of the young youth that died that day. It's an embarrassing. Stop it. Stop it. Yegen le toti le ni yenzayo le. Lira masepa man. Happy Youth Day. Ko tlapung. Linwa. Le feba. Happy Youth Day. Le apere uniform. Ko di tlapung. A generation that is totally politically uneducated. That is us. We have to fight spiritually. We have to fight legally, like I said. Fight these courts, but these courts are working against us. We all know that. Siyazi. We have to fight economically and socially. We have to start being stinged with the black rand. It must stop going to white businesses. Blacks must support black businesses. We're to fight on the electoral fight. The electoral fight, who we vote for. You must punish the ANC for what they did. I said it. ANC people are saying it. It's not only me. Honest people are saying it. The ANC will be punished for working with the DA. You must punish them the next elections. You must never forget this. If I'm still alive, I'll remind you. And for those who don't like me, mina ngizopila until late ages. I've got too many assignments that I must do, that God has given me. So He must keep me here. I'm not going to die easily. I will not at this moment of time suggest that you guys must fight physically. You are not ready. You are not armed. You don't have the spirit. You don't have the liver. You don't have the physical ability. You don't have the mental. I will never suggest it. Don't do it. Don't do it, because you are not ready to fight the South African army. You are not ready to fight the South African police force. You are not. So don't even think about that. You guys, you are not ready. You are not ready. Someone else must lead that. I mean, I will never suggest it from my channel. But people must go fight physically. No, Lwana physically, Nina. Your colonizers, banhlulile, bahleli nani. Huh? When there's an apartheid, something that is happening, a racial something act that is happening, only the EFF turns out. So I'm not going to suggest that on my channel. But the other fights, the spiritual fight, the legal fight, the economical and social fight, the electoral fight, those fights you guys can fight. Those fights are within your power. The least you can also do is to share these videos that you guys are watching. Because some of you are learning, but you are not sharing. Because more people must know. Some of you are watching, you are not subscribed. The other channels that are praising the DA and the ANC coalition are growing. Tina, yo, peace in pan-Africanism, yamasimba. We don't grow because people love us conditionally. You don't love black people unconditionally. Tina, we always get the conditional love. And it's not about YouTube. Like I said, we need to fight economically and socially. We must be patriotic to one another. We must love each other unconditionally. Whatever happens, there will never be a killing of my brother in front of me. My brother will not suffer in front of me. And when I say brother, I'm talking about the entire Africa continent. I will not mistreat another human being because they are from a different country and I'm here at home, and mistreat them because they are far from home when they are actually at home, and then go and treat Bas like an angel. I cannot say happy June 16. I cannot say happy Youth Month. Which youth? Which youth? Tina? Tina, we are in embarrassment, Tina. We can't say happy Youth Month to us. Tina? Never. Never. Let's rise up, man. Let's rise to the occasion. Here's an opportunity for youth to rise. Here's an opportunity. And I don't want another flipping party to open up now. Nope, stop telling me on my emails that King, open a party, we will support you. I'm not stupid. I don't want to open a political party. Then look away from the EFF. Look away from Mkhonto Wesizwe, the ATM. Already there is so many. Already there is enough with quality leaders there. It's June 16 today. Our president is going to address us 2 o'clock. The letter is out. Let's wait and see what is going to happen. Let's wait and see. What is he going to say? But like I said, I no longer expect a miracle from Jacob Zuma. That man has fought the fight. It's our turn. Let's stop putting too much pressure on that 82-year-old. Can we stop that nonsense, please? He's already doing so much. I wanted to make a video about the existence and the timing of Mkhonto Wesizwe. This man saved the last tiny bit of integrity of black people that we had. He saved it. He saved it. He delayed the plan of white monopoly capitalists. They did not see him coming. Even they did not see him coming. That's why he announced in December 16, January, February, March, white monopoly capitalists started taking out millions for these parties. Millions! Double what they gave them in 2023. They gave them in the first quarter of 2024. And remember, they've discovered the oil in the seashore of Eastern Cape. Just wait and look what they're going to do to that oil. Because that, Nkosiyam. Hi, peace in pan-Africanism, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva. Sono. Yes. Don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. It's time for us to stand up. We must do our best so that God can do the rest. Peace in pan-Africanism. I salute you.